Morning is just beginning to bloom over the savannah. Warm golden light breaks through the light mist, and long shadows fall across the cracked ground. The pregnant elephant that National Park staff have been watching for weeks has separated from the herd again. She is wearing a GPS collar around her neck that allows her every move to be precisely tracked. Biologists are watching her from a safe distance. The jeep is quiet. No one wants to spook the animal. Sometimes they turn on the drone to see her from above, but they try not to fly too close. The elephant walks slowly through the dry grass and then lies down to rest. It is obvious that she is running out of time. The silence is broken only by the morning wind and the rare voices of birds. Everything seems calm, but only at first glance. Scientists notice that the elephant's behavior is changing. She is nervous, often looking around, as if looking for a hiding place. What happens next? You won't believe it. They decide to stick around for as long as they need to. After all, sometimes these observations end in incredible discoveries. And tonight, they have a moment that will change everything. Stay tuned. What comes next will shock even seasoned experts. The sun had just risen over the savannah, the golden light softly illuminating the dry, cracked earth and the sparse acacia trees. A pregnant elephant with a huge, almost absurdly large belly lay on her side, breathing heavily. It was clear from her posture that labor was about to begin. Nearby, at a safe distance, stood a jeep with researchers and veterinarians. No one interfered, but everyone was closely monitoring the animal's condition. A GPS collar was used to track her pulse and breathing. A veterinarian checked through binoculars to see how often the elephant was breathing and recorded the readings. "She's very tired, but it's going naturally," one of the specialists said, taking notes. The elephant's huge belly rose and fell in time with her heavy breathing. Time passed slowly, and the tension grew. The researchers knew that what they had been on duty here for weeks was about to happen. What happens next? You won't be able to look away from the screen. The morning sun had risen higher, the golden light shining brightly on the dry savannah. The elephant with her huge, absurdly large belly lay on her side and breathed heavily. Now labor had begun in earnest. The belly was visibly contracting. Each thrust was visible even from a distance. Two rescuers and a veterinarian came closer, but were careful not to frighten the mother. They could see that the process was natural, but they were ready to help. Sometimes elephants labor for hours and may require intervention. One monitored her heart rate on a GPS collar, while another kept equipment on hand to cool and moisturize her skin so the elephant wouldn't overheat. "Hanging in there, good. Just a little longer," said the vet as he watched the elephantess tense up. The huge belly lowered visibly, and finally the first movements of the cub showed. A few minutes later, the baby elephant came into the world. As the mother tried to get up, the rescuers helped clear a space around her to keep the baby from getting stuck in the dry grass and cracks in the ground. The elephant immediately began helping the cub up, gently pushing it with her trunk, swatting its ears, protecting it from insects. For the humans, it was a moment that cannot be forgotten. They saw a real new life, right there, among the acacia trees and the cracked earth of the savannah in the golden light of morning. The morning in the savannah became brighter. The golden light of the sun illuminated the cracked earth, the rare acacias cast long shadows, and a light wind dispersed the fog, leaving only the hot air saturated with the smell of dry grass. The mother elephant, exhausted by the long labor, lay on her side, breathing heavily. Her huge, recently absurdly swollen belly had noticeably fallen. Now, a tiny elephant calf lay next to her. His skin was still shiny from the dampness. He was clumsy, barely moving his legs. Two rescuers and a veterinarian stood a little further away so as not to disturb the mother. They had helped clear the ground around, but now they retreated, watching nature do its thing. The mother elephant rose to her feet with difficulty. Her movements were slow but confident. She sniffed the baby, gently pushed him with her trunk, helping him to stand up. The first attempts were unsuccessful. The baby elephant fell onto the cracked ground, clinging to the dry grass with his little feet. But the mother did not give up. She picked him up again and again, protected him from annoying insects, covering him with her huge ears. Finally, after a few minutes, the baby took his first steps. Awkward, shaky, but real. The mother immediately stood next to him, as if showing the way. The rescuers smiled. They had witnessed a moment that happens only once in a lifetime. After a while, a herd appeared in the distance. The mother elephant let out a low call, and other elephants moved towards her from behind the sparse acacias. They surrounded the mother and baby in a tight ring, forming a living shield. Now the baby was out of danger. For the researchers, this was not just a day in a national park. It was an encounter with nature itself in its grandeur and fragility. They knew that these images would serve as proof of why such places should be protected at all costs. The sun had risen higher, the morning mist had finally cleared, and the savannah was filled with bright, dry light. The elephant looked exhausted. Her huge belly had finally emptied, but her strength had left her. A newborn baby elephant stood nearby, shuffling uncertainly on long, still weak legs. Its skin seemed moist and slightly wrinkled, like all newborn cubs. Two rescuers and a veterinarian watched them from a safe distance, recording every movement. The GPS collar showed that the mother's breathing and heart rate were gradually returning to normal. However, the anxiety did not disappear completely. Somewhere nearby there could be danger, because the smell of blood attracted predators. Gradually, her herd approached the elephant. The older females lined up in a semicircle, protecting mother and baby. They gently touched the newborn with their trunks, sniffing it as if to confirm that it was ours. The air was filled with the low hum of their voices, and the dry ground trembled beneath their footsteps. The rescuers looked on. It was a rare moment to deliver a wild elephant and see the herd deliver the baby. What happened next shocked even experienced biologists. By noon, the heat had become unbearable. The air trembled over the hot ground. The grass stood still, as if frozen. The elephant, though exhausted, was already on her feet. Her newborn baby elephant was walking beside her, moving more confidently now, following its mother as if it always knew what to do. The herd closed ranks, encircling mother and baby in a tight ring. The older females stopped trumpeting alarmingly, their steps becoming measured and calm. Two rescuers and a veterinarian watched as the animals slowly moved deeper into the savannah. It was a moment when human intervention was ending, and nature was taking over again. The GPS collar showed steady readings of the elephant's health. The scientists recorded the latest data and realized that they had witnessed one of the rarest of rare events: the birth of a wild elephant in a national park, right in front of their eyes. But no one expected that a few days later, GPS data would show a strange movement of the herd, and this would be the beginning of a new mystery. Thank you for watching to the end. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel to support us.